Fatty liver hides in plain sight, draining energy while pretending everything is fine. Left unchecked, it can quietly progress, but you are not stuck with it. Stay with me for a safe, natural roadmap that puts relief and real results within reach. Let me start with a plain question. If your liver could speak this morning, what would it ask you to change first? Not a miracle cure, not a trendy supplement, just one everyday habit. That's the surprising truth about fatty liver. It often builds quietly out of small choices that feel harmless. A sweetened iced coffee on the commute. A bagel with cream cheese because it's fast. Barbecue sauce on chicken because it tastes like summer. None of these, alone, looks dramatic. But together, over months and years, they can pack fat into the liver like boxes in a garage until it's hard to move. Fatty liver simply means too much fat stored in liver cells. Many people notice nothing unusual at first. Energy dips become normal. A waistline grows slowly. Lab results hint at a problem and then get ignored. The good news is that lifestyle changes, food, movement, sleep, and smart routines can reduce liver fat for many people. The even better news, the first steps aren't complicated, and you can start today without buying anything exotic or expensive. Before we go further, here's a promise. Stay with me through this journey, and I'll share a simple bonus that helps you turn grocery shopping into a liver-friendly habit. A 3-2-1 framework, plus a quick US label checklist you can use right in the aisle. Small, practical, and surprisingly powerful. I'll also point out a consequence of neglecting these steps that isn't often discussed. I won't sensationalize it, but understanding it can save you frustration and keep you healthier in the long run. To understand why ordinary foods matter, picture what happens when a typical North American day stacks up. Breakfast might be a sweet yogurt with granola and a glass of orange juice. Lunch becomes a turkey sandwich on soft white bread, a bag of chips, and a soda. Dinner leans on takeout, pizza or wings dipped in a sticky sauce. None of this is forbidden, but the pattern overloads the body with refined carbs and added sugars. The liver converts that extra sugar into fat, a process with a long name, de novo lipogenesis. But the idea is simple. More fast sugar in than out means more fat parked in the liver. My goal isn't to scare you. It's to give you a lever you can pull today. Start with this. Drink a tall glass of water the moment you wake up and delay your first sweet taste. No sugar in coffee, no juice, for at least 1 hour. That small move calms early cravings and teaches your palate that mornings don't need dessert. If you enjoy coffee or tea, have it black or with a splash of unsweetened milk. If you already take your coffee unsweetened, you're ahead. Next, swap one routine breakfast for a balanced, higher fiber option 3 days this week. Think eggs with sautéed spinach and a side of berries, or plain oatmeal topped with walnuts and cinnamon, or unsweetened Greek yogurt with chia seeds and blueberries. These choices slow the blood sugar roller coaster and keep you full. When you feel steadier through the morning, you naturally snack less on the break room donut or the drive-through muffin. Movement matters too, and it doesn't need to be heroic. 10 to 15 minutes of easy walking after the day's heaviest meal acts like a gentle gear shift, helping muscles soak up circulating sugar so the liver doesn't have to. You can do this in sneakers after dinner, during a kid's practice, or while a show is on. If you already walk, fantastic. Try pacing right after you eat. Alcohol deserves a quiet, honest look. Even modest amounts can slow progress for some people with fatty liver. If you drink, consider a simple trial. Reduce or pause for 2 to 4 weeks while you focus on the basics above. Pair that with better hydration, and you'll likely notice clearer mornings and steadier energy. Here's a mindset that helps. Think in terms of swaps, not bans. Replace soda with sparkling water and a squeeze of citrus. Trade the sugary breakfast cereal for steel-cut oats. Swap a large white bread sub for a bowl built on leafy greens, beans, and grilled chicken. The more fiber and color you add, greens, reds, purples, the more you tip the equation away from liver fat. Now, the reason these steps work isn't magic. Protein and fiber slow digestion, so glucose trickles into the bloodstream instead of flooding it. When the flood stops, the liver stops stockpiling fat. Healthy fats, from olive oil, avocados, salmon, walnuts, also help you feel satisfied so you're not chasing a sweet fix every couple of hours. Sleep and stress matter as well. A consistent bedtime and brief breaks for deep breathing during the day can lower the drive to graze on sugary snacks. One more practical action: become a label detective. Added sugar hides under many names in the U.S.: high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, maltodextrin, dextrose, agave syrup. You don't need to memorize the entire dictionary of sweeteners. Just learn to spot 5 common red flags, and if 2 or more show up near the top of the ingredient list, choose something else. This one habit can quietly remove dozens of teaspoons of sugar from your week without feeling like a diet. I promised you a bonus, and I'll keep that promise when we arrive at the right moment, because it will make more sense after you've seen how the pieces fit together. Along the way, I'll also clarify a specific risk of overlooking these steps. Again, no drama, just practical awareness so you can decide how committed you want to be. For today, choose one change you can repeat tomorrow. Maybe it's the half mile after dinner. Maybe it's black coffee. Maybe it's building your plate with half vegetables, a quarter protein, and a quarter whole grains. Consistency beats intensity here. Give your liver a calmer day, and it will start to repay you quietly. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to unintended side effects. I'll explain it in a clear, non-alarmist way so you can move forward safely and confidently. We agreed to stop treating mornings like dessert and to let small, steady habits do the heavy lifting. Now it's time to shine a bright, practical light on the place where many North American routines quietly go off track: the nutrition label. The goal isn't to fear foods, it's to see them clearly enough to choose better within the same stores, the same budgets, and the same busy days. Most people think sugar is something you taste as sweet. That's true, and also incomplete. Added sugars hide in salty and savory staples: soft sandwich bread, jarred pasta sauce, ketchup, barbecue sauce, light salad dressings, sweetened yogurt, breakfast cereal, granola bars, energy drinks, and even coffee creamers. The label tells the story if you know where to look. Start with the serving size in bold. Then scan for added sugars in grams. Anything that pushes you above roughly 1 small dessert's worth of added sugar per day begins to tilt the liver towards storing fat rather than clearing it. We don't need to be perfect. We do need to be aware. On the ingredient list, sweeteners show up under many aliases. You don't have to memorize everyone. Keep a short watch list and you'll catch most of them: high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar or evaporated cane juice, maltodextrin, dextrose, and agave syrup. If 2 of these appear in the first 5 ingredients, that's a strong hint the product is built to taste great and disappear fast, leaving you hungrier and your liver busier. When that happens several times a day for weeks, fat quietly accumulates in liver cells. Let's make this concrete with a 3-minute pantry audit. Set a timer. Open your usual breakfast and snack cupboard. Pull out 5 items you reach for often: a cereal, a granola bar, a jarred sauce, a loaf of bread, and a drink mix or creamer. Read the label out loud. Count the grams of added sugars and the number of different sugar names in the ingredient list. If you spot 3 or more sugar names in a single product, mark the box with a sticky note. You just found low-hanging fruit for change. Now, swaps. None of this is about restriction for its own sake. It's about choosing versions that work for your goals. Replace sugary granola with plain oatmeal. You sweeten yourself with berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Trade sweetened yogurt for unsweetened Greek yogurt, topped with fruit and chopped nuts. Pick a pasta sauce with 00G added sugar. They exist in every supermarket. Try mustard or a vinegar-based barbecue sauce in place of the sticky kind for weekday meals. Grab a loaf with 100% whole wheat as the first ingredient and minimal added sugars. Choose peanut butter that lists only peanuts, and maybe salt. For drinks, move from soda to sparkling water with a squeeze of citrus. From energy drinks to iced tea, you brew at home. From flavored coffee creamers to a splash of milk and vanilla extract. A quick note on no sugar added and sweeteners. No sugar added means exactly that. It doesn't promise low sugar overall, and fruit-heavy products may still be quite sweet. Non-nutritive sweeteners can reduce calories, but for some people, they keep sweet cravings active. If you use them, do it intentionally and pay attention to how your appetite responds over a week or two. The goal is to make your taste buds less dependent on constant sweetness, so your meals can be satisfying without the sugar chase. Here's a simple label routine that fits in the aisle without slowing you down. First, check serving size and servings per container so you don't trick yourself. Second, look at added sugars and aim for the lowest option that still fits your budget and tastes okay. Third, scan the first 5 ingredients for your watch list of sugar names. If you find 2 or more sweeteners up there, try the brand next to it. This tiny loop, size, sugars, scan, takes about 15 seconds once you've practiced it twice. Taste matters, so build a flavor toolkit that doesn't lean on sugar. Keep cinnamon, Ceylon if you can find it, pure vanilla, cocoa powder, nutmeg, citrus zest, and a pinch of salt. Roast vegetables to bring out natural sweetness. Learn a simple vinaigrette. Olive oil, vinegar or lemon, a dab of mustard, herbs, a touch of garlic. These are small kitchen skills with outsized payoff for the liver because they help you enjoy food without the added sugar that drives fat storage. If you like experiments, try this one. For the next 14 days, remove sweet drinks, sodas, energy drinks, sweet tea, sweetened coffee, juice from your routine and replace them with water, sparkling water, or unsweetened coffee and tea. Nothing else changes. Watch what happens to your appetite and your afternoon energy. Many people are surprised by steadier focus and fewer evening cravings. If you live in a drive-through desert, keep a case of sparkling water in the trunk and a small bottle of lemon juice in the fridge so your better choice is always within reach. A word about safety. If you have diabetes, hypoglycemia, or other medical conditions, coordinate any substantial dietary change with your healthcare professional. The guidance here is educational and aims to reduce added sugars while maintaining overall nutrition. The point is steady improvement, not perfection. You've now built the skill that quietly changes everything. You can spot added sugar before it gets home. That alone reduces the liver's workload day after day. And remember the promise. At the right time, I'll give you that simple 3-2-1 framework and a label checklist you can keep on your phone to make choices automatic. Keep going. The payoff isn't flashy, but it is real. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to unintended side effects. I'll explain it in a clear, non-alarmist way so you can move forward safely and confidently. If you nudge the first 60 minutes of your day, the rest of your choices tend to line up like grocery carts in a neat row. We've already learned to spot hidden sugars and stop treating mornings like dessert. Now I want to show you how the very first meal can quietly reset appetite signals and give your liver an easier job for the next 12 hours. Think of breakfast as a steering wheel, not a reward. When that wheel points toward protein, fiber, and healthy fat, the blood sugar waves stay small. Your cravings calm down, and the liver doesn't have to play cleanup every 2 hours. Here's the surprising part. The foods that feel light in a typical North American breakfast, bagels, muffins, pancakes with syrup, orange juice, often hit the bloodstream fast. You feel satisfied for 20 minutes, and then your focus fades, which is not your fault. It's physiology. A steadier first plate changes the timing of hunger hormones and reduces the need for the liver to convert extra sugar into fat. No drama, just a smarter default. Start with a morning ritual that takes less than 5 minutes and costs almost nothing. Drink a tall glass of water when you wake up. Get a minute of daylight on your eyes, by a window or on the porch, which helps your body clock. Brew coffee or tea without added sugar. A splash of unsweetened milk is fine if you like it. Then build a breakfast that includes roughly 3 elements, 20-30 grams of protein, at least 8 grams of fiber, and a thumb's worth of healthy fat. You don't need to weigh anything. These are guides to help you feel what enough is. Here are 3 easy templates that fit real American mornings. The skillet: 2 eggs scrambled with a handful of spinach, cherry tomatoes, and a spoon of salsa. 1 small corn tortilla warmed in a dry pan. Half an avocado sliced. The protein and fat keep you full, and the vegetables add volume and fiber without a blood sugar spike. The oat bowl: plain old-fashioned oats cooked with water or milk, then stirred with a big spoon of unsweetened Greek yogurt for extra protein. Top with blueberries and chopped walnuts, plus a light dusting of cinnamon. If you prefer steel-cut oats on weekends, make a pot and reheat portions during the week. The smoothie you chew: unsweetened kefir or milk, a handful of frozen berries, a small scoop of protein powder if you use one, a spoon of flax or chia, and a handful of spinach. Blend until thick and drink it slowly, pausing between sips to let satiety signals catch up. The chewing cue matters. It tells your brain a real meal happened. If your mornings are chaos, prepare the night before. Hard-boil eggs, portion berries and nuts into small containers. Keep a bag of frozen vegetables ready for a quick sauté. Set your coffee maker. Put a sticky note on the fridge with your chosen template so the decision is already made when you wake up. When time is tight, decisions are the real friction. Movement right after your heaviest meal is a secret lever. 10 to 15 minutes of easy walking, around the block, inside a mall, or even marching in place while you watch highlights, encourages muscles to sponge up extra glucose so the liver doesn't have to convert it into fat. If you use insulin or medications that lower blood sugar, check with your clinician about timing and watch for symptoms of low sugar. The goal is steadiness, not extremes. Let's talk about the drive-thru and diners because they're part of American life. If you stop for breakfast on the road, look for options that match our three elements: an egg and vegetable breakfast bowl instead of a syrup-heavy stack, oatmeal without the pre-mixed brown sugar, coffee with milk rather than a flavored creamer. At a diner, ask for whole eggs or an omelet with vegetables, swap toast for a side of fruit, and keep the juice as an occasional treat rather than a daily habit. These small pivots are worth more than perfect days followed by, "I blew it, so never mind." Caffeine is helpful for many people, yet timing matters. Front-load most of your caffeine before early afternoon so it doesn't disrupt sleep, because poor sleep raises next-day cravings and nudges the liver towards storing energy. If sleep is rough, try a simple experiment. Cut caffeine by a third, move the last cup earlier, and add a short walk after dinner. This trifecta, morning protein, short post-meal movement, and better sleep, creates a steady rhythm that the liver likes. Here's a 2-week plan that fits busy schedules. Days 1 to 3, choose one breakfast template and repeat it so your mornings feel automatic. Days 4 to 7, add the 10-minute after-dinner walk. Days 8 to 14, upgrade one other meal each day by filling half the plate with vegetables. Keep notes on how long you stay full and how your energy feels mid-afternoon. You're not chasing perfection. You're noticing cause and effect. A quick word on portion sense without measuring. If you're constantly hungry an hour after a healthy breakfast, you probably need more protein or fat. If you feel heavy or sleepy, reduce the starchy portion and add non-starchy vegetables or berries. If you're managing diabetes or other conditions, coordinate these shifts with your professional team so medications match your new routine. Last, remember why this matters. A steady morning doesn't just change the next meal, it changes the next set of choices. When breakfast works for you, your cart at the supermarket looks different. Your coffee order simplifies, and your evening snack loses its pull. That is how liver fat trends down, not with a single heroic decision, but with many gentle, repeatable ones. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to unintended side effects. I'll explain it in a clear, non-alarmist way so you can move forward safely and confidently. Color and fiber are the quiet bodyguards of your liver. If the first meal sets the rhythm for the day, the plants you pile onto lunch and dinner are the steady drumbeat that keeps the rhythm going. This isn't a diet identity. It's a practical way to lower the liver's workload while you still enjoy familiar North American foods. The trick is simple. Build plates that are hard to overeat and easy to love. Start with what fiber actually does. Soluble fiber, think oats, beans, apples, berries, forms a gentle gel in the gut. That gel slows the entry of glucose into the bloodstream, which means a smaller insulin response and less pressure on the liver to turn excess sugar into fat. Insoluble fiber, the roughage in leafy greens, carrots, celery, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts adds volume and supports regularity. Together, they feed a healthy microbiome that produces short-chain fatty acids, small molecules that help the liver and muscles use fuel more efficiently. The science can get complex, the actions can stay simple. A practical target for many adults is about 25 to 38 grams of fiber per day. But the more important rule is to increase gradually and drink water so your gut stays comfortable. A sudden jump from 10 grams to 35 can leave you bloated and discouraged. Give your system a gentle ramp. Add one new fiber-rich food every day or two and pay attention to how you feel. Use the plate method to make decisions automatic. Fill half the plate with non-starchy vegetables in at least 2 colors. Divide the other half into quarters. 1/4 lean protein, 1/4 smart carbohydrates such as beans, lentils, brown rice, quinoa, or a small baked potato cooled and reheated, which increases resistant starch. Drizzle with a spoon of olive oil or add a few slices of avocado for satisfying fat. Let's translate that into meals you already know. Chili night? Make a turkey and bean chili heavy on tomatoes, peppers, and onions. Serve it over a scoop of brown rice and top with a little plain Greek yogurt instead of a sugar-heavy bottled sauce. Taco Tuesday. Build a bowl with lettuce or cabbage as the base. Add black beans, grilled chicken or fish, pico de gallo, corn, and a squeeze of lime. Finish with avocado and a sprinkle of cheese. Burger craving? Go bun optional and pile the patty onto a bed of greens with tomatoes, pickles, onions, and a mustard yogurt sauce. Pasta dinner? Choose a marinara with 0G added sugar, toss in sautéed mushrooms and spinach, and use chickpea pasta or whole wheat to boost fiber. A side salad gives you that half plate of plants. Canned and frozen produce are your allies. Rinse canned beans under running water to reduce sodium. Keep frozen broccoli, spinach, and mixed berries on hand so you don't rely on takeout when the fridge is bare. A sheet pan is your best friend. Toss Brussels sprouts, carrots, peppers, and onions with olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic, then roast until the edges caramelize. That natural sweetness scratches the same itch that bottled sauces chase, without the added sugar that nudges the liver toward fat storage. Flavor matters because it keeps habits alive. Build a simple vinaigrette at home. 2 parts olive oil, 1 part vinegar or lemon juice, a teaspoon of mustard, a pinch of salt, herbs, and a small grated garlic clove. Keep spices visible. Cumin for chili, smoked paprika for roasted vegetables, oregano for tomato sauces, cinnamon, preferably Ceylon, for oatmeal. These are small upgrades that help you enjoy food while keeping added sugar in check. Portions adjust themselves when fiber shows up first. Try this sequence at meals. Start with vegetables or a salad, then protein, then starches. This order won't feel rigid, but it often leads to eating enough without feeling stuffed. If dinner is your heaviest meal, add a 10-minute walk afterward. That routine can lower the glucose peak and, over time, help the liver clear out stored fat. 2 safety notes keep you comfortable while increasing fiber. First, if you have irritable bowel symptoms, experiment with gentler fibers like oats, chia, peeled apples, zucchini, carrots, and white rice cooled and reheated, and consider limiting certain beans or onions at first. Second, some keto or low-carb snacks rely on sugar alcohols that can cause gas and discomfort. Choose whole foods more often and watch how your body responds. As always, if you manage conditions like diabetes or are pregnant, coordinate significant diet changes with your healthcare professional so they fit your broader plan. A grocery routine makes this stick. Write a short list of staples: old-fashioned oats, unsweetened Greek yogurt or kefir, beans, black pinto chickpeas, lentils, brown rice or quinoa, a rainbow of frozen vegetables and berries, leafy greens, onions and peppers, cruciferous vegetables, olive oil, nuts like walnuts and almonds. Spices. Add 1 new vegetable each week to keep it interesting. When the cart is built this way, takeout nights become simpler. Order a protein-forward option and pair it with a pre-made salad or a steamed bag of veggies from your freezer. You'll know this is working when meals feel more filling without extra heaviness, afternoon energy steadies, and the temptation to chase sweetness fades. None of that requires perfection. It requires repetition, plates that look similar in color and composition even when the specific foods change. And because we're building this carefully, you'll be ready for a practical framework that ties everything together and a small label checklist you can keep on your phone so good choices become reflexive. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results, it can also lead to unintended side effects. I'll explain it in a clear, non-alarmist way so you can move forward safely and confidently. Fat doesn't play a single role in your diet. It plays several, and the one that matters today is how the right fats help you feel satisfied so you stop chasing sugar all day. After loading our plates with color and fiber, we can make 2 upgrades that quietly support the liver. Choose fats that calm cravings and use time, not tension, to organize eating. No extremes, no identity labels, just choices that work in real North American routines, from office potlucks to ballpark nights. Here's the simple idea that surprises people. Hunger that never feels done often has too little protein and not enough steady fat. When breakfast is a muffin and lunch is a low-fat salad with sweet dressing, the afternoon becomes a negotiation with snack machines. Bring back satisfying fats and the negotiation ends. Avocado slices on a taco bowl, a handful of walnuts in oatmeal, a drizzle of olive oil on roasted vegetables, salmon in place of bacon on weekend brunch. These are not cheats, they're tools. They help you enjoy food without the sugar rush and crash that pushes the liver to store fat. Let's draw a clear line between fats that generally support your goals and patterns that quietly work against them. Supportive choices: olive oil for dressings and low to medium heat cooking, avocado and nuts like walnuts and almonds, seeds such as chia and ground flax, fish rich in omega-3s, salmon, sardines, trout, tuna, and modest portions of full-fat fermented dairy like plain Greek yogurt if it fits your preferences. Patterns to rethink: frequent deep-fried foods, oversized portions of cheese layered onto already heavy meals, coffee that is more dessert than drink thanks to syrups and creamers, and the low-carb but ultra-processed snacks that flood the market. If a food leaves you needing something sweet right after, it probably didn't help your liver. Cooking method matters as much as ingredients. Here's a quick kitchen playbook. When you crave crispy, use the oven or an air fryer. Chicken thighs tossed with a spoon of olive oil, paprika, garlic, salt, and pepper. Brussels sprouts halved and roasted until the edges brown. Sweet potato wedges finished with a pinch of cinnamon. When you need fast, sauté vegetables in a slick of olive oil. Then add pre-cooked beans and leftover chicken for a 5-minute skillet. When you grill, balance char with color. Serve the burger on a salad base with tomatoes and pickles, and let mustard and a spoon of yogurt stand in for sugar-heavy sauces. Now the part many people get wrong: timing. You don't have to adopt aggressive fasting windows to help your liver. A gentle overnight break of about 12 to 14 hours, say, finish dinner by 7:30 p.m. and have breakfast around 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. gives your body time to handle the previous day's fuel without pushing you into low-energy territory. Keep it flexible. If you're training early, shift breakfast earlier. If you feel lightheaded or irritable, shorten the gap. The goal is a calm rhythm, not a test of willpower. A few safety notes make timing work for you. If you live with diabetes, take medications that lower blood sugar, are pregnant, or have a history of eating disorders, coordinate any change in meal timing with your healthcare professional. Start with food quality first, then experiment with modest timing adjustments. When you extend your overnight break, pair it with hydration: water, sparkling water, black coffee, or tea. Sprinkle a little salt on meals if you feel headachy, and include potassium-rich foods, leafy greens, beans, yogurt, or a banana, so you stay comfortable. If any plan makes you feel worse after a week, it's not your plan. Alcohol also deserves a clear look. For many people with fatty liver, reducing or pausing alcohol accelerates progress. Try a dry 15. Pick any consecutive 15 days and skip alcohol while you practice the food and timing steps above. Keep a simple replacement on hand: sparkling water with lime, iced herbal tea, or a splash of tart cherry and seltzer. Notice mornings. If they feel brighter, that feedback is worth more than any rule. Dining out is part of American life, so learn the menu moves that serve your liver. Ask for sauces and dressings on the side, and taste before you pour. Choose grilled, baked, or roasted over breaded and fried. Swap fries for a vegetable side or a baked potato. Add salsa or mustard for interest. At pizza night, enjoy a couple of slices, then fill the other half of the meal with a big salad dressed at the table. At barbecue, make the plate about protein and sides like slaw without extra sugar. Save the sticky sauces for a tasting spoon, not a ladle. What about keto? Some people do well with lower carb patterns, but the details matter. An approach built on eggs, fish, vegetables, olive oil, and nuts can be satisfying and sustainable. An approach built on processed meats, artificial sweeteners, and low-carb desserts often backfires, keeping cravings alive and stalling progress. Instead of picking a label, pick meals that leave you steady 2 hours later. That's the quiet test that never lies. Here's a week-long experiment to feel the difference. Day 1. Add 1 serving of fatty fish, salmon, trout, sardines, or tuna. Day 2. Switch your salad dressing to a homemade olive oil vinaigrette. Day 3. Replace an afternoon snack pack with a small handful of nuts and a piece of fruit. Day 4. Cook a sheet pan of mixed vegetables and use them as sides for 2 dinners. Day 5. Try the 12-14-hour overnight break and hydrate well. Day 6. Make brunch about eggs and vegetables instead of pancakes. Day 7. Take a 10-minute walk after the heaviest meal. Jot down how your appetite and energy change. If you've been told to fear all fat, this can feel new. But remember the goal: reduce the liver's workload while keeping meals enjoyable enough to repeat. Supportive fats make plants taste better. Better-tasting plants make it easier to eat more fiber. Fiber keeps blood sugar steady, which tells the liver it can stop stockpiling fat. This is teamwork, not restriction. A final reminder in the spirit of safety and progress. None of this replaces personalized care. If you have gallbladder issues, pancreatitis history, lipid disorders, or you're adjusting medications, work with your clinician while you experiment. Use a simple check-in each week. How's my energy? How's my sleep? Do meals keep me satisfied without a sugar chase? The answers will tell you if you're on track. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to unintended side effects. I'll explain it in a clear, non-alarmist way so you can move forward safely and confidently. You've stacked the building blocks: clearer labels, a steadier breakfast, plates full of color and fiber, supportive fats, and a calmer eating rhythm. Now let's put them to work in a simple preparation that becomes the anchor of your routine. I'm going to give you a step-by-step method, explain why it works in plain language, and deliver the small bonus I promised: the 3-2-1 framework and a label checklist you can keep on your phone. None of this relies on exotic products. It relies on repetition. Here's the core preparation that ties the day together. At night, take a clean jar or bowl with a lid. Add 1/2 cup, 40-50 g, of old-fashioned rolled oats. Add 1 tablespoon of chia seeds or freshly ground flaxseed. Pour in about 150 milliliters of plain kefir or unsweetened Greek yogurt. Add 100-120 milliliters of milk or an unsweetened milk alternative such as soy or almond. Fold in a generous 1/2 cup of berries, blueberries, strawberries, or a mix, fresh or frozen. Chop a tablespoon of walnuts and stir them in. If you like a hint of spice, add a small pinch of Ceylon cinnamon. Stir well, cover, and refrigerate for 8-12 hours. In the morning, stir again and add a splash of liquid if needed. Pair with a mug of coffee brewed without sugar or dessert-style creamers. That is your set-and-forget breakfast. Why this works is not complicated. Oats and chia deliver soluble fiber, forming a gentle gel that slows sugar's entry into the bloodstream. Yogurt or kefir contributes protein and, for many people, helpful bacteria. Together with the seeds and walnuts, you get healthy fats that extend satiety. Berries bring color, polyphenols, and natural sweetness without a large sugar load. The result is a first meal that doesn't ask your liver to mop up a flood of glucose. Instead, it gives you a slow release of energy so the morning feels even and cravings stay quiet. If dairy doesn't suit you, Use an unsweetened plant-based yogurt and a soy or pea protein milk for a similar protein boost. If gluten is an issue, choose certified gluten-free oats. If you prefer warmth, heat the mixture gently on the stovetop in the morning, adding a splash of liquid and stirring until just warm. Avoid boiling so the texture stays pleasant. A note on quantity and safety. Stick close to the amounts above at first. They're designed to reach a meaningful fiber intake without overwhelming your gut. If you're new to fiber, increase gradually over a week and drink water throughout the morning. If you manage diabetes, check your glucose response and coordinate any medication adjustments with your healthcare team. If you are pregnant, have gallbladder disease, or live with other medical conditions, tailor these steps with professional guidance. Now, let's round out the day with 2 more preparations that follow the same logic. For lunch, assemble a bowl using the plate method. Start with 2 cups of leafy greens or shredded cabbage. Add a quarter plate of protein: grilled chicken, turkey chili, tuna, tofu, or beans. Add a quarter plate of smart carbohydrates: a scoop of brown rice, quinoa, lentils, or a small baked potato cooled and reheated. Top with at least 2 colors of vegetables, peppers and tomatoes, or broccoli and carrots. Drizzle 1 tablespoon of olive oil and a squeeze of lemon, or a quick vinaigrette you make in a jar. 2 parts olive oil, 1 part vinegar, a teaspoon of mustard, a pinch of salt, and herbs. If you need a sweet edge, try diced apple or a spoon of corn for balance instead of a sugary dressing. For dinner, lean on the sheet pan. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees, 205 degrees. Halve a pound of Brussels sprouts and slice an onion. Toss with a tablespoon of olive oil, salt, pepper, and a little smoked paprika. Spread on half the pan. Place salmon fillets on the other half, brush with olive oil, and season with salt, pepper, and lemon. Roast for about 12-15 minutes until the salmon flakes and the sprouts have caramelized edges. Serve with a side of brown rice or a slice of toasted whole grain bread if you want extra carbohydrates, or keep it lighter if your earlier meals were starchier. Cleanup is easy, which means you're more likely to repeat the habit tomorrow. These 3 preparations share a pattern: fiber up front, protein in the mix, healthy fats for staying power, and flavors you actually want to eat. They're not meant to impress social media. They're meant to lower the liver's workload day after day. If you eat out, mimic the same structure. Look for a grain bowl, a chili with beans, a salad with grilled protein and olive oil on the side, or a taco bowl heavy on vegetables with avocado and salsa. It's time to deliver the bonus. The 3-2-1 framework is your daily autopilot. 3 colors on your plate at each meal. 2 servings of cruciferous vegetables most days. Examples: a cup of broccoli at lunch and a cup of Brussels sprouts at dinner, or cabbage slaw and roasted cauliflower. 1 10 to 15-minute walk after the heaviest meal of the day. That's it. 3, 2, 1. Simple enough to remember when you're hungry and tired. And here's the quick label checklist for US shopping, meant for the Notes app on your phone. Step 1. Check serving size and servings per container. Step 2. Pick the option with the lowest added sugars that still tastes acceptable and fits your budget. Step 3. Scan the first 5 ingredients for these common sugar names: high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar or evaporated cane juice, maltodextrin, dextrose, agave syrup. If 2 or more appear near the top, choose the item next to it. This tiny routine removes surprising amounts of sugar from your week without feeling like a diet. Earlier, I promised to describe a consequence of ignoring these steps without using drama. Here it is. When added sugars stay high and fiber stays low, the liver may continue storing fat even if weight doesn't change much, and energy tends to wobble. Over years, some people develop inflammation or scarring and need medical treatment. That's exactly what we're choosing to prevent with calm, repeatable meals and gentle movement. No fear, just clarity and action. Let's close with encouragement and a practical challenge. For the next 7 days, make the overnight jar before bed and put your walking shoes where you can see them after dinner. Build 1 plate each day with the half-vegetable rule and use the vinaigrette you made at home. Notice how your appetite and mood respond. When you collect a week of small wins, confidence grows, and so does your liver's capacity to recover. If this guidance helped you, share it with someone who could use a steadier morning, a simpler dinner, and a clearer path. Like and subscribe so we can keep building skills together and turn knowledge into durable habits. Your future self will thank you for the quiet work you're doing right now. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. It can also lead to unintended side effects. I'll explain it in a clear, non-alarmist way so you can move forward safely and confidently.